up, everybody? Welcome to Real Talk with Chris and Travis. I'm Travis.
And I'm Chris.
Don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And don't forget to catch us on Instagram at Real Talk with Chris and Travis. So as always, I'm going to introduce the topic, man. We're going to talk about taking risk.
Yeah, taking risks. I mean, I feel like to get to the next level in life, you got to take a risk. You know? You got to, if you want to elevate, I mean, you got to take risks. You got to bet on yourself.
Yeah.
You know, that's how I feel. What you think?
I think you're absolutely right. I do think that there are different kinds of risks that people take.
Okay.
That there's calculated risk where you sit down and you plan things out and you kind of work out a plan of steps, I guess you could say. But it's still taking a risk because you don't know if the plan you set up is actually gonna work. So you're still taking a risk versus just stepping out there, period, and taking a chance. You know what I'm saying? And that's more my style. Is like I like to get a lot of information together on what I want to do, and then plan out the actual steps instead of just diving off into something. But either way, I mean, it's not bad. Either way, it's just everybody's different.
Yeah, I think I think having a plan is good because you know you got everything mapped out, so you ain't just out there. I call it naked. You out there naked,
right?
You know,
and it's cold out there.
So you got plan A. I mean, you got step 1, step 2, step 3, so on and so on. You know how you gonna tackle everything.
Right.
I think that's the best way to do it. But I mean, also, I feel like when you have a disability, a lot of times some people might be afraid to take a risk. You know, because you got a lot of naysayers saying, "Well, how you gonna do this? How you gonna do that?" And you kind of worry about what people think about you.
Yeah, I've been there multiple times. Yeah.
So I mean, I feel like don't worry about the naysayers. You just go out there and just go for it.
Yeah, and in a sense, man, you kind of have to, because I've been that person that I'm disabled and want to just be in the back of the class with my head down and do my work and just be quiet. Hope nobody don't notice me. That way they won't see the crutches. They won't see the disability. I can slide out the class for everybody to get up.
Yeah.
That was me.
Yeah.
Not want to be seen, put me in the back, don't want to be in the front. And it's like, nah, you know what? God gives everybody gifts and talents. And sometimes I feel like with the body that he put me in, hey, sometimes you meant to stand out in the front. You're supposed to stand out in the crowd. You're supposed to stick out.
That's getting out your comfort zone. It's kind of like this podcast, man. When I came to you with the podcast, this was like, man, to be honest with you, I asked God, what's my purpose? And he was like, I don't know. Like the podcast came to my mind.
Okay.
I'm like a podcast. Like I don't want to be in front of no camera. So I came to you with it, and I mean, it's getting me out of my comfort zone to be on camera talking in front of. I don't know how many people watch, but
talking to people on the camera. Period.
Yeah, just strangers seeing us talk on camera. It's getting me out of my comfort zone and making me want to feel more comfortable with being in the spotlight, I guess you can say.
Could you do, well, I'm putting it like this. Since you've done this podcast, because we've been at it for about a year, or a little over a year, could you stand up in front of a crowd, let's say 50 people on a stage and talk? Just like how we doing right now?
I could, but I'll be nervous.
I mean, but being nervous is a natural human emotion until you done something enough to kind of work out the bugs, you know what I'm saying? That's one thing I learned from working in retail, because that was my first like real job. And I had, jobs dealing with people before that, but they were like, I would be like in a office type setting where I might have to deal with 3 to 4 people in one day, and that would be it. So when I switched to retail, I'm dealing with like hundreds of people a day.
Yeah.
And they coming to me for information, and I'm like, I ain't want to be like this out in the spotlight and stuff. Like people coming in the store looking for me and everything. I'm like, man.
Yeah.
But it all worked out because it taught me that, for one, I don't have to hide in the background. But what was I scared of? See what I'm saying? I'm like,
right.
Bro, well, I ain't want to be scared. People might look at my legs and point and laugh, and it's like, okay. And if they do, you just keep shining. Right. You know what I'm saying? You just keep moving.
It's all about taking that risk, man. Putting yourself out there. And once you see, oh, it ain't that bad.
Right.
It's like, look at me, just like everybody else, I might be a little different, you know, differently able.
I like
But I
it. I
mean,
like it.
but I mean, I still can shine too.
Right.
So I mean, I kind of feel the same way when I started working retail. I wasn't really used to like dealing with the public. So, but I'm glad I did it because it helped me to be able to talk to like different people. You know, being diverse.
Yeah.
So,
Most definitely.
yeah.
You know, and I feel like if you're not a like me, I'm not a risk taker. I'm not a risk taker at all. But I feel like in life you have to take risks. It all depends on what you want. I was one that I did not want to live with my parents forever. And it's not that my parents were bad people. It's not that they didn't take care of me good, because they did. They really did. And I really feel like they ain't had no problem. Like if I wanted to stay, you can stay, and there ain't no problem. But for me, I was comfortable in my parents' house, but I knew I'd be comfortable on my own too. So for me, you know, working in retail and actually stepping out, going after that job, because I filled out the application by myself.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? My dad actually drove me to the interview, but it wasn't like he sat in the interview with me. I was by myself.
Mm-hmm.
But I got that job. You know what I'm saying? Which, you know, God helped me to get that job, I should say, because He gave me favor with the people, and the rest is history. I worked retail for 13 years. You know, but during that 13 years, I encountered different people, and it just sometimes people can make you very uncomfortable, and they'll heckle you just because, you know. But even in them situations, you learn that somebody could throw something in a direction away from you, but you don't have to take your eyes off the prize.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? So from that point, I was like, man, if I could work this job and do a good job on this job and get paid for it, the stuff I learned on the job, I was like, I know, if in other words, if I can clean up the aisles in my section, if I can set up, you know, electronic devices in my section, what's the difference in having my own house and cleaning up and setting up stuff in my own house?
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, you know what? I'm gonna stack my money from this job and I'm gonna get my own house. And the rest is history.
That's how you do it, man. Man, I feel like sometimes God would let things happen in your life where He puts you in an uncomfortable position.
Yeah.
To actually get you to get out there and shine. You know, because you might be comfortable. I feel like when you get comfortable, you become complacent and you don't really want to do anything else because you comfortable in that position or whatever.
Right.
And sometimes He'll let things happen where you might lose something or things might not go as you planned it to go.
Mm-hmm.
And He'll make you uncomfortable. Like, man, so I got to figure out how to do this differently now.
Most definitely. You know, and that's the biggest thing is you have to recognize when it's God moving you versus you trying to do something on your own, because there is a difference to it. See what I'm saying? And so, like, part of taking risks, like you said, especially when you're disabled, just getting up and going to the store and coming back home might be a huge thing for you. Because I know people that are disabled right now, and it's like I'm not going to say that they can't get out and go to the store and come back.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Especially if you, like, let's say you live in an area where your house is, like, right down the sidewalk from a convenience store that has everything you would need.
Mm-hmm.
And they would be like, well, I'm in a wheelchair. Okay, but what's stopping you from rolling your wheelchair down the sidewalk to the store? Get your stuff and go back home.
Mm-hmm.
Man, my mama gonna go to the store and get it. Well, what if your mom's ain't here? She might be on vacation somewhere. Man, she gonna stock the fridge before she leave? I don't know. Gotta get out that comfort zone. Man, I ain't trying to be out in public in this chair. You know how crazy I look? Man, you know how brave you look?
Right.
You know how strong you look doing that?
I think sometimes people with disabilities, they might be afraid to like go to stores or anywhere in public by themselves because they probably don't like the attention they may get, like the stares and the whispers and all that.
Mm-hmm.
So that might be something they might have to work on. But I mean, I feel like once you get out there and do it and you conquer that, it's like let them stare, let them whisper. You know what I'm saying? You know, wave at them. put that smile on your face.
Yeah.
You showing bravery. You showing independence. Like, hey, I can get out here and do it too.
And that's the whole thing about it is, to me, everything starts in your mind.
Right.
You got to know what you want, and sometimes that's the first step, but it's hard because sometimes you don't know what you want until you start moving.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? You don't know what you want until you start doing stuff, and
you don't know what you can do until you start doing it too.
Right. And you might get out the house and absolutely have a wonderful, amazing day. It may not go nowhere near as bad as you thought it was gonna go.
Yeah.
And that's the whole thing. At that point, once you make up your mind to do something and you step out and do it, life becomes an adventure every day.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And once life becomes an adventure, now you living. You know what I'm saying? You living. That's a whole new feeling.
I mean, I feel like life is made to be lived, man, not just to exist.
Right.
God ain't give us this beautiful world just to be complacent and just be in a shell. You gotta get out here and enjoy it and be you, be free. Don't let whatever disability or no disability or whatever the case may be stop you from conquering what you want to do.
Exactly.
You gotta take risks, man. I feel like. I mean, how you feel? You feel like to move to the next level, you gotta take a risk?
Man, most definitely. And that applies to anything. And when I say anything, it could be something as simple as cooking. Like with me, right? Before I met my wife, I was living with my parents, and the closest thing to cooking I would do would be throwing something in the microwave. Because they sell them like microwave dinners, or they sell little things you could take out the tray and you put it on like a microwave plate and put it in. That was the closest thing I did to cooking.
Yeah.
Because my parents was like, well, their kitchen was kind of big, and they knew like when you're cooking, you gotta move pots of water. And that pot of water might be hot. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And so they was like, when you home alone, don't cook. Just do stuff in the microwave. And I understood that because they wanted me safe. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
But then, when I met my wife, when we were dating, we would go to the grocery store together, and she would, get food and stuff to put in her house. And I was like, babe, I think I want to learn to cook. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, your parents don't teach you to cook? And I was like, well, I mean, with their kitchen being so big and the way I move, you know what I'm saying, they'd rather me like cook when they're there, but when they're there, they so busy getting rest for the next day and different things.
Yeah.
And she was like, well, I'll teach you to cook. Because her apartment had a small kitchen. So from the time we were dating until we got married, she taught me how to cook different things. Some things from a box, like, the meals in the box.
Mm-hmm.
And then some things I know how to cook from scratch, all because of her. You know what I'm saying? Like spaghettis and red beans and stuff like that. And that's going to the next level for me. I went from putting stuff in the microwave to actually standing at a hot stove and learning how to, move grease and boiling water without burning myself.
Yeah.
That was the next level. That's why I say taking risks applies to anything. You know what I'm saying? It could be relationships.
Yeah.
Again, before I met my wife, I tried to talk to, females, but I just didn't have that confidence in me. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But then, like, I talked to her, and then that was me making the first step, was me, like, making her laugh, and we keep talking. And then she actually took the next step and gave me the number. I didn't have to ask for it. And then we got to talking on the phone, and the rest is history.
Yeah, I mean, relationships, man, when you're trying to get to know somebody, yeah, you taking a risk because they might reject you, you know what I'm saying? So but I mean, once you get over that rejection and start to think like, okay.
On to the next one.
Yeah, on to the next one. When one person say no, the next person might say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, when you get in your mind like, man, they got 1 billion people in the world. Why am I tripping over one no?
Right. And versus thinking the opposite, like,
yeah,
man, all these females, but don't none of them want me, you know what I'm saying?
I
got told no a lot, and that one yes was the one I needed.
That's all you need.
So
that's all you need is one good one and one yes, and that's it. But I mean, relationships are, a risk because, I mean, it may work out, may not work out. You might invest a few years. Mm-hmm. You might invest a couple weeks. It's still a risk, and it's still time lost and whatever.
Yeah, because you're not going to get that time back for sure.
Yeah, but I mean, I feel like whatever you do in life is a risk.
Yeah, and the only reason I feel like life itself is a risk It's because of the way God got it set up. He purposely does not tell us what's gonna happen in the next 2 minutes, what's gonna happen in the next hour, what's gonna happen in the next day.
Yeah.
We find it out as we go. And that's the whole thing about it. It's like God purposely does not tell us everything, because I honestly feel like if he did tell us everything in advance, then how would your faith grow? You know what I'm saying?
That's true.
How your faith gonna get any bigger if he telling you tomorrow you gonna go to the grocery store and the stuff you need is not gonna be in there? Yeah. You gonna be like, well, I just want to go to that store.
Right.
But then if you don't go to that store, the person who needs your help that God about to put in your path is not gonna get the help they need because you didn't go to that store.
Yeah.
So
I feel like you start taking more risk in life when you like sit back and actually think and open your eyes, and you get in your mind like, man, this is my last time being alive. Like, you only get one try in life, so you don't come back.
Because life don't have a reset switch.
Right. So if you don't really conquer what it is you really want to do, what's really tugging at your heart, I mean, there ain't no do-overs. Hey, let me go back. Try it again,
Yeah, because I think part of taking risks is, like I said earlier, calculated risk.
Yeah.
What do I want, and then how am I going to get there?
Mm-hmm.
See what I'm saying? For me, like right now, my whole thing about life from this point is literally I want to live. And when I say I want to live, I mean I don't want to just sit in the house. I want to have my own business so my money could be long. That way my time is free. And then I take my loan money and pay off debts. Once you're debt free, I want to travel and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, I know it's a pandemic because that's what kind of got me nervous and stuff like that. But
Man.
I want to travel and I want to see places I ain't never been to and stuff like that and take my family with me and all of that. Because to me, that's living. You know what I'm saying?
Ain't no pandemic stopping nothing this way. Ain't stopping nothing this way. But I mean, yeah, I like that. Like I said, I mean, I want to live too. But I mean, I want my time back. I don't want to have to, be on somebody's clock.
Right.
I feel like the money is just a reward.
Yeah. Because business is a risk. Yeah. Especially when it come to putting up big money on something that you about 90%, maybe 85% sure it's going to work.
Yeah. But I mean, you have to, like I said, man, take that risk because, like, ain't no do-overs.
Right.
Like I said, you got to have that thought in your mind, like, this is my last time being alive. So,
man, I remember hearing a conversation back when I was at work, and it was an older gentleman talking to a younger, man, and they were setting up a display, and the old man said, man, when I was your age, I was in a lot of bad stuff, and it got me with a little rap sheet, and that's why I had to take certain jobs, and that's how I got stuck in this job. And he was like, but honestly, I just did the stuff I did to get the money, because the way I grew up, they told us like money was everything. Mm-hmm. And he says, I really want to get the money even now. Like, I want to have money so that I can go and do the things that I want to do, the things that I feel like are fun, that I want to enjoy, because I'm up in age now, and I don't want to be on my deathbed like I didn't get to do this. I didn't get to go there. I didn't get to... See what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And I thought about that. It's like, what things do I want to do that I feel like, I'm going to regret it if I don't do it. You know what I'm saying?
That's them regrets, them coulda, woulda, shoulda, man. What if I would have did that? That's gotta
right.
be
and now you want to, but you can't.
That's gotta be the worst feeling. Like, if you on your deathbed and you thinking back, like, why did I not take those opportunities when I had them?
Because I was too scared to fail.
Failure. I mean, I feel like people look at failure the wrong way.
They do.
I look at failure as a lesson. Okay, it didn't work out that way, so I'm gonna try a different way.
Yeah. I seen a post. I think this was on Instagram, and it was kind of like a voiceover, but in the clip, it was a kid walking in the house from school, and he would put his book sack down on the couch and just sit there, and then his dad would come to him and sit next to him on the couch and look at him, And then the voiceover, the dad would be like, "How was school?" And the son's like, "School was okay." And he was like, and the dad was like, "Great. What did you fail at today?" Straight up, just what did you fail at today?
Right.
And he's like, "Well, I studied for a test, but I got a D on it." Okay. What else you failed at? And I'm looking at this clip like, who asked their kid every day, like, what did you fail at? Like, what, see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And in the clip, the voiceover said that the dad, it was in the dad's voice, and he said, "I want my kids to understand that nothing beats a failure but a try. So if you at least tried and you failed, you succeeded.
Right.
Because you could always try again and get it right the next time."
Right.
And I thought about that, and I'm like, you know, that's a genius way to teach your kids. Because when kids are small, they're going to go off of what you tell them. So if you grow up under that kind of teaching, you out here trying all kind of, stuff. And it's bad stuff and it's good stuff too. But what he said that was so strong was, if we start when we're young changing our mindsets, we won't have any limits as adults.
Right.
And that's true.
I think the only failure is not trying.
Right. That's the biggest failure in the world.
That's it. Not trying.
Like you had just previously said, man, find a way. If you fail trying it one way, do it another way.
Mm-hmm.
And me and you done talked about like me driving. We done talked about it on this podcast a lot. Mm-hmm. Maybe traditional driving didn't work for me, but they got self-driving cars now. I have no excuse. All I need is the money. You know what I'm saying? Get a self-driving car.
Yeah.
That's one way.
That's the way to look at it.
But yeah, man, you have to take a risk, because if you don't take a risk, then you're just gonna be stuck in whatever circle you're in, and you're gonna be stuck in that circle until your dying day. And if you're lucky enough to kind of be on your deathbed to be able to talk to people around you and think about life before you pass, you're gonna think about the stuff you wanted to do that you didn't take a chance on, that you didn't do.
Or you was afraid to do because you was worried about what people was gonna say about you. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Forget that. Get that out your mind and just do you.
Because even if we grew up in the same house, we still ain't living the same life.
Right. Right.
You can be my parents, but we still not living the same life.
I feel like use your 24 hours the way you want to use it. Don't worry about the people who got something to say about it. Who cares? Let them continue to be in the stands and, watch you.
Yep.
While you on the field.
Watch the show.
They cheerleaders. That's how I call them. You cheerleaders. You in the stands. I'm in the game.
Yeah, but not everybody look good in the skirt. I ain't gonna.
It don't matter because I don't really, it wouldn't matter because you don't even see them. So.
True.
Because I'm in the game. You just in the stands. You paying to see me. That's the way to look at it.
Yeah, man. And like I say, man, you gotta, like you say, life is meant to be lived. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm a person that, like I say, like to work off of steps. So, step one, decide what I want. You know what I'm saying? Do you want to make money working for somebody else, or do you want your own business? You know what I'm saying? Do you want to make a little money? You want to make a lot of money? And then if you get to the point where you're making a lot of money, what are you going to do with it? How you going to enjoy it? Because you worked hard for it, so why not enjoy it? You know what I'm saying? Take those trips.
Yeah, take them.
Buy that other property if you want. Buy some stocks and different things you want.
Mm-hmm.
Or if you like, I'm just trying to enjoy the money. Well, whatever your hobbies are, spend money on that. You know what I'm saying? But enjoy that stuff.
All right. Definitely gotta enjoy life and see the world, man. That'll be the main thing I would do. I'd disappear and just be.
Cause there's some things like, I flew on an airplane one time, but my wife and my kids have never flown, so I want to take them somewhere where we have to fly. Even though I don't like being on airplanes, but I want to take them at least one time, and I want to fly first class because I've never flown first class, and I really, when I do something for them, I like to go all out. They've never been on a cruise, and neither have I. So we planning on, going on cruises and stuff like that.
Man, I ain't even gonna lie. The first time I flew, man, I was terrified.
Me too.
Every little bump, I felt like, man, what's that?
Hey, my plane started shaking. Then we hit an air pocket, and then we dropped out the sky, but we came back up. What I say, I almost passed out of that seat. Oh man.
Yeah, man. I almost didn't fly because we was going to California. I was like, man, I ain't getting on no plane. Let's drive. She was like, you know how long it's gonna take to drive to California from
A
Louisiana?
long time.
So I was like, man, I'm gonna go ahead and do it. It wasn't bad, but I mean, like you said, when they kept hitting them air pockets and the plane like
it's an
dropped,
experience.
it dropped and you feel it. I'm like, man, what's going on?
Go back up. That's the wrong way. So,
What a button I can press.
for real.
Can somebody get the pilot on the phone right now?
Wake him up or something, man. Like,
Right. What you in there doing, man?
stop playing with that phone. Shoot.
All right.
But yeah, man, I feel like, you know, you gotta take that chance. You gotta, you know, and people are like, well, what if I get on the plane and it crash and I die? It's like,
What if you get in the car and you get in the crash and you die?
just make sure you right with God before you do anything and go live your life.
Right.
That's it. That's all you can do.
Yeah.
I want to go on a cruise bad, but then I think about like, what if, you know, the boat to get caught off on, you know, in some bad stuff on the water and they go down. I can't swim. I
Think
mean,
about Titanic.
yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's like, I wanted to go on this cruise so bad. Now we might not even make it back. Like, but then it's like, you know what though? If I never go, I'm gonna be mad because I never got to experience a cruise. I want to do at least one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, my parents been on multiple cruises. I'm like, and they said it. Sometimes it gets scary on the waves. You know what I'm saying? But they was like, but we made it back home every time, and we had a good time. So take that chance.
You just take that chance, take that risk, and hey, it is what it is. You enjoy, you enjoyed it. So I mean, hey, that's what you want to do. So don't let the fear like consume you so much to the point you be like, man, I ain't even gonna do it. I ain't even gonna do it. You gotta be like, man, all right, yeah, that can happen, this could happen, but hey, I'm still gonna do it anyway.
And you know what? I'm laughing while you saying that because me and my wife was talking about that the other day. When I first met her, that's exactly how I was. You know, because I'm like, because I saw a lot of guys was always in her face trying to talk to her and all of that, you know. And me being the only guy at this job that's disabled, I'm like, man, it's something that beautiful. She ain't gonna talk to me and they got all these guys in her face.
That's when you should have been flexing. Like,
Man,
I would have been flexing.
you know, so that's why I say like it shocked me because the stuff that the guys were saying in her face, she was just so used to hearing about, oh, you so fine, this, that, and the third, about her body, and she was like, I already know what them guys wanted. But then she said, but with me, the first thing I noticed is that she looked like she had a lot on her mind, like she was having a rough day, and I'm like, hey, you all right? Like, you know, you all right?
Mm-hmm.
And she said that was different because nobody had ever asked her, hey, are you okay? It was always, man, hey, you know, and then after, you know, I asked her, was she okay? I started saying stuff to try to make her laugh, and it actually made her day a little better.
Yeah.
And that's how we got to talking more. And from there, I got her.
You flexed on them, man.
So we good.
That's what you gotta do. You gotta flex on them, you know what I'm saying?
But I took that chance, you know, but on the inside, I'm like, bro, these dudes can drive. These dudes can walk with no problems. She gonna look at my legs and it's gonna be a turn off. Like, I was reasoning myself out of, you know, talking to her, but then I did step up and talk to her. And I'm glad I did.
Look what happened. It all worked out. That's what I'm saying. Taking risks. That's what it's about, man. Life is about taking risks, man. It's about getting out your comfort zone, going after your goals, your dreams, whatever it is, aspirations you have in life, and conquering them. Especially if you have a disability, man. Sometimes you might sit back in the background. You don't want to be noticed because you don't want to bring attention to yourself. But
that was definitely me.
Sometimes you gotta get out your comfort zone, and show them that, hey, I can hang with y'all too. You know, I can shine too, in spite of my disability or whatever. What you think?
Sir. I think you're absolutely right.
Yeah.
1,000,000%. Yes, sir.
Oh yeah.
We've given tons of examples tonight on how, like, stepping out your comfort zone. You know what I'm saying? When you're disabled, going and get a job is stepping out your comfort zone. Because you know they're going to look at you like you're a liability. Why should we hire you?
Mm-hmm.
I went through that. You know, like I said, talking to my wife, and I'm seeing other guys all in her face. And she chose me over them.
Flex.
You know, so
Flex.
You know, that's number 2. Me learning to cook. Yeah, she taught me. I mean, but I went from microwaving to chefing it up on the stove. You know what I'm
Chef
saying?
Warrior
So,
Chris.
yeah, I did turn a couple of things crispy though. I did. But it's okay.
Look at the wrist.
I flicked my wrist and I missed. That's what happened.
That's their wrist work, man.
But yeah, man, just taking a chance, man. You know, and taking a chance can be scary, but it's worth it.
Oh yeah, it's definitely worth it, man.
With most things.
Most things.
Yeah, most things.
Some things are just
Some things you don't want to do.
just stupidity. You know?
Yeah, there's a difference.
But yeah, I mean, y'all drop a comment, let us know what you think. You know, and don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, and share this video.
And don't forget to catch us on Instagram at Real Talk with Chris and Travis. And we'll be back next week with another video.
Oh, give them the email.
Man, I always forget, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, we have an email address, is Real Talk with Chris and Travis at yahoo.com. Also, we have a TikTok page, is Real Talk with Chris and Travis. Y'all know about Instagram, so y'all can hit us up on any of those.
Man, check us out and drop some topics that y'all want us to discuss, or you would like to know more about us. You know, just let us know what you want to know. And stay tuned.
And we'll be back next week with another video.
Peace.
We out.